What a victory. What a win for the New York Knicks. Listen, I want everyone to tell the world that we are back. We're back in business, man. We're back in business, baby. The Knicks beat the Philadelphia 76ers by a final score of 106-79. Now, if I'm reading this correctly, this is the third straight game the New York Knicks have held their opponent under 80 points. And I think that's like a, was that like a franchise? Let me read this Knicks TR. The Knicks held the 76ers to 79 points tonight, marking the first time the Knicks have held their opponent under 80 points in 3 consecutive games since 2000 and 2001. Man, oh man, tonight was one of those victories that made you feel good. You know why? You know why especially it made you feel good? We'll talk about the Josh Hart triple-double. We'll talk about everything. But Big Taz, Jay in the chat, what's going on? The New York Knicks are back. We are back. And his name goes by OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby made his return to the New York Knicks lineup. And the world saw why the New York Knicks missed OG Anunoby so much. Right off the bat. First quarter, he made his impact. Throughout the game, he made his impact. Second quarter, we saw it, hitting his open threes. It's so nice to have a guy parked in the corner, above 44% three-point shooter from corner threes when OG was acquired here, playing great defense. It looked like OG Anunoby did not miss a beat. And when I tell you, it felt good to see that, man. It really felt good to see him because, honestly, I didn't know what to expect. Anunoby has been out for quite some time now. I didn't know if it was going to take him a while to get in the groove of things, right? I thought it was going to take him a little bit. But no, it felt exactly like how it felt right when we acquired him in January. Steps in the lineup and makes an impact right away. Shout out to OG Anunoby, man. This guy is the best, man. He's amazing. OG Anunoby tonight. 14 points, 29 minutes for OG Anunoby. A lot of people thought Thibs was going to run him out there for like 40-plus minutes, but 6 of 11 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 14 points, plus 28 on the game. Boy, oh boy, man. This felt amazing, man. Let's hit some of these comments. Big Tass says, we are back. Listen, hopefully this is the start of something. You know, we got good Mitchell Robinson news before the game. Anunoby's back now. Hopefully this is the start, and we can start to compile wins. We got a tough West Coast trip coming up here. Winnable games, though. But hopefully with Anunoby back, you see how it lessens the load out of all the other guys. Hart tonight was amazing. I mean, I give the game ball to Josh Hart tonight. 20 points, 19 boards, 10 assists for Josh Hart. What is this now, his 4th triple-double of the season? For Josh Hart, he's played awesome, man. Josh Hart has played absolutely incredible for this team, and this was an amazing win. 79 points to the Philadelphia 76ers. That's with Maxey coming back from that injury. Boy, oh boy, shout out to the Knicks. Lynette, what's going on? OG is an intangible plus on this team. He's a plus. He's more than a plus. He's more than a plus. OG Anunoby is a great defender, a great knockdown shooter. He can create his own shot. We've seen it. We've seen it now for quite some time now. OG Anunoby, how many? He had a little bit of turn. It was a little bit rusty tonight on the offensive end. 3 turnovers for OG Anunoby, but that's expected because he hasn't been in the lineup for so long. So that's expected. 29 minutes, but right off the bat, you see his presence on the defensive end. I mean, one man can change everything defensively. It's kind of insane to think about. It's kind of crazy. So I'm just happy that the first game back for OG Anunoby, he looked like the OG Anunoby we saw in January, because we didn't know what to expect with this elbow injury. And 2 of 5 from 3 tonight, 6 of 11 from the field for OG Anunoby. Did not miss a beat. did not skip a beat for OG Anuoby. So I'm happy that we saw that from him, and I'm extremely happy to have him back. Jay says 14-2 with OG, man. What up, Jay? What's going on? S550 says OG's presence is just legendary at this point. Big Taz says OG Anuoby, aka the phone update. LOL. Keith, what's going on? Greetings from ATL. Greetings, man. Salute to you as well. Thanks for rocking with me with this Knicks post game. Big win against the Philadelphia 76ers, 106-79. Sheesh, 79 points. Let's go, man. Look, Anunoby, man. I mean, what more can you say about him? And this is why, this is why us fans, and this is why I kept coming on here saying when Anunoby comes back, it'll kind of not fix everything, but pretty much fix most of the defensive issues that this team has had. Right? Because it started to look bad on the defensive end. When OG Anunoby was acquired in January, the Knicks were one of the best defensive teams in the league. Then when he goes out, we're still able to win, a few games. Then it all pretty much fell apart. We make the trade, Bogdanovich, Burks, and the defense has just taken a hit. And tonight, insert OG Anunoby back in the lineup. Josh Hart started. I thought they were going to bench Josh Hart, but Josh Hart started with Anunoby, and they put Precious on the bench. It clicked right away. We saw Anunoby's presence, and it was honestly like refreshing. It was honestly refreshing. It was honestly refreshing, man. And I love exactly what I saw from the whole team, not just Anunoby tonight. Hartenstein brought the energy tonight. Brunson, 4 of 8 from 3, efficient night this is one of the Jalen Brunson's most efficient nights of the season. 7 of 12 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3, 9 assists, 20 points for Jalen Brunson. And Josh Hart, man. I mean, give the game ball to Josh Hart, because the way this guy attacks rebounds, the way this guy has a knick-knack for these rebounds is crazy. 6'6" guard, Josh Hart is grabbing rebounds over, dudes that are taller than him, 6'8", 6'9", 6'10". Josh Hart is just grabbing rebounds over these guys. And 19 boards for Josh Hart tonight. Crazy, man. Crazy. Evan says salute to the channel. Salute, Evan. What's going on, man? What's going on? Jay says Hart is the best rebounding guard in the league, and he's going to be coming off the bench. LMAO. He is the best rebounding guard in the league, and I think those stats back that up. If not, he's top 2. But when Randall comes back, obviously Hart's going to be relegated back to the bench. But over these last month and a half, Josh Hart has shown us exactly why the New York Knicks made that trade last season. And I personally think he has played better than last season, because when we acquired him, he was absolutely awesome during that stretch run. But 39 minutes for Hart, played below 40 minutes. Guys got some rest there in that fourth quarter due to the blowout. But look, Josh Hart, man, another great game. 19 rebounds, 10 assists, 20 points for Josh Hart. And look, this was a big win. Keith, what's going on? Get the likes up, guy. Yeah, smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Come hop on in this chat. Let's talk about this great New York Knicks win, 106-79. The Knicks haven't held opponents below 80 points in 3 straight games since the 2000 and 2001 season. That is from the Knicks PR Twitter account. In today's NBA, do you know how hard that is to hold opponents under 80 points in back-to-back games? That is extremely hard. I know last game was a stinker from the Knicks offensively, but don't forget the Philadelphia 76ers still scored, 77, 78 points in that game? So into Anunoby tonight, they're back under 80 points, and one man can change everything. And OG Anunoby is back, and the New York Knicks are back, and I want everyone to let the world know that we are back. Because when the New York Knicks are playing like this, when they're playing defense like this, when they're getting after the ball, when they're shooting, 35 to 40% from 3, 35% tonight, 14 to 40 from the field, 12 to 15 from the free throw line, not bad. 40 to 79 from the field, 50% from the field, 51 rebounds. They're hard to beat. They're hard to beat on any given night, And I'm just like, this is the beginning of hopefully some great wins in the future, because Anunoby, one man, he's shown this one man can change everything. And he just makes life so much easier for Brunson, especially. Life isn't that hard for Jalen Brunson when you have Anunoby parked in the corner and Dante DiVincenzo parked in the other corner. You know, it started to become really hard for Jalen Brunson to get to his spots. He was still putting up points, don't get me wrong, but teams were starting to trap him, starting to wear him a little bit. Even tonight, he was holding his hip a little bit. Hopefully, he's good. But OG Anuoby, you have him parked in the corner, Dante parked in the corner, two players that can shoot the corner threes, 45% this season, both of them. It just opens up lanes for everyone, especially Jalen Brunson, which is why you saw an efficient night from JB tonight. And which is why you saw in January with Anunoby and Julius Randle, you saw the spacing on the floor. Like, it just opened up for everybody. If OG Anunoby wanted to create on the top of the key, he can create. If Randle wanted to do his thing, he can do his thing. If Brunson can do his thing, we know what he can do. He's capable of. He did his thing. And tonight was, honestly, it was awesome to see. It was awesome to see. Evan says OG is to the Knicks what adobo is to the beans. Evan, what's going on, Evan, man? Hope all is well. S550 says, with OG on the floor, it created the spacing we needed. Like I said, it just makes guys, honestly, it just makes their life easier, especially Brunson. And I love to see that in the fourth quarter, this game was out of hand in the fourth quarter and everyone got to rest a little bit. But Brunson, 27 minutes, still gave you 29 and 4 on an efficient night. Anunoby, 29 minutes, 14, 4 and 2 and 1 steal. And first half, Brunson had a nice behind the back bounce pass to OG Anunoby. And look, I mean, it brought back a lot of great memories that we had in January, didn't it? But, you know, it's great to see Anunoby on the court. It's great to see him bounce back, especially from an elbow injury, because those injuries are tricky. Like, those injuries are very, very tricky. Came back, bounced back, looked like his own self. Whew. Let's go, man. I'm happy. Jay says, missed the game for work, but can't miss the recap with Knicks Nation. Keep up the good work, bro. Jay, man, always appreciate you in here rocking with us. And, yeah, this was from pretty much the 76ers made a little bit of a run, but the New York Knicks pretty much put them to bed in that third quarter. Fourth quarter was pretty much, you know, bench guys were in and whatnot. But pretty much the first half, the New York Knicks were definitely in control in this game. From start to finish, they were in control of this game. Maxey came back and Anunoby came back, and we didn't know what to expect from the New York Knicks. I think it was, you know, because I personally thought they were going to go Josh Hart off the bench and start Precious alongside Anunoby, but I was wrong. And I actually like this lineup of Anunoby, Hartenstein, Brunson, Josh Hart, and Dante, because Anunoby can kind of like bully his way playing the 4. He can guard pretty much 1 through 5, and Hartenstein is doing his thing down low. And Josh Hart, I mean, the way he has been playing, I mean, how can you take him out this lineup at this point? I mean, 39 minutes. I mean, another triple-double. What is that, his 4th triple-double of the season for Josh Hart tonight? Which is absolutely crazy. I mean, if you look at his game log, and I think he's done this within the last, month? He's gotten you like 3 triple-doubles. If you look at his game log, I mean, look at these stats. Look at these stats. It's been like 2 weeks now, more than 2 or 3 weeks now. These double digits rebounds, these assist numbers are up. His 3-point shot wasn't there tonight, but his 3-point shot has been up. It has improved tremendously. And what Josh Hart brings is that he pushes the pace, right? He pushes the pace. He's our fast break engine. When Josh Hart is grabbing the rebound, he's not bringing the ball up slow. You know, one thing the Knicks have been these last couple of weeks is I think they've been like one of the slowest teams in terms of pace-wise in the NBA. And when Josh Hart is grabbing those rebounds, he's pushing the pace up. He's going 100 miles an hour down the court. And that's just an added addition with Josh Hart. And he's been playing, look, man, a lot of people call Josh Hart overpaid when the Knicks paid him. And he's not. He's been worth it, man. He's been definitely worth that And look, man, awesome game for the guys, awesome game for the squad, and it's just cool to see. Jay says with Thibs running 9-man rotations, who do you think is getting left off if we are fully healthy? Got to go down the list. Bogdanovich didn't score tonight, right? I don't think Bogdanovich scored tonight, which was kind of crazy. We didn't really need him to score. Yeah, 22 minutes for Bogdanovich, no points. I got to go Burks, man. I got to go Burks. I think when Julius comes back, and look, it seems like the Knicks are starting to temper expectations with Julius Randle. It seems like a lot of stuff that have been coming out from the New York Knicks have been kind of like, they're kind of cautiously optimistic on Julius Randle's return. He's going to return, but it seems like they're trying to get him at, they're trying to get him at maybe 80 to 90% because shoulder injuries are tricky. So these last couple of days have kind of, the Knicks say that he's still not doing 5-on-5s and whatnot, but when everyone is healthy, when that is, we got one piece back today. Mitchell Robinson is close. Tom Thibodeau said he should be practicing with it the next week, which is crazy. Like Mitchell Robinson and OG Anunoby on the court. Like I'm thinking of lineups of like that's a dream. That is honestly a dream defensively. And we all know what Mitch can do up to the offensive rebounds and whatnot. But with Mitch on the court with OG, and then you get Jew back, I would say it's Burks, right? I mean, what do you guys think? I think it's Burks the odd man out. It's not McBride. It can't be McBride. McBride has been playing his butt off these last few weeks. So when that time comes, it can't be Precious because Precious has been awesome. Precious, Bogdanovich, McBride have all played better than Alec Burks. So you insert another rotational piece in there. Burks is not seeing the court. Just my opinion, but we'll see. Evan says Candace Parker is a Knick hater. What did Candace say something again? Don't tell me Candace Parker says something again. Please don't tell me. Tell me I missed that, and please. Whew. S550 says, yeah, we're last in pace in the NBA. Yeah, the Knicks are last in pace in the NBA. So when Josh Hart is grabbing those rebounds, it is 100 miles an hour towards a basket, and which is what I love because we need that. We need more pace, more rhythm, and Josh Hart brings that. Big Taz says, my goodness, we're not even fully healthy yet. Look, this is why it was like beating a dead horse. This last month, I was like, just wait until we get Anunoby back and Randle back. This is why it was kind of there was a point where the Knicks were losing, and it's like you can't really. You wanted to judge the game, but you know that wasn't like their full lineup. But at the same time, you can't just keep using the injuries as an excuse because the injuries happen in every sport. Injuries happen. So now when you see the impact with OG Anuoby on the court, and we saw it in January, when you saw it tonight again, it kind of brought you like, okay, like this is the Knicks team that in January they were smacking everybody. They were beating everybody. And if we get matched up with the 76ers in the first round, I'll pull up the standings in a bit, but I think we got the tiebreaker over Philadelphia now, which is important. Beating Philadelphia today gave us that tiebreaker over them. That's important. Orlando lost around the NBA. Boston is winning right now. Did Orlando lose? They've lost 2 in a row, Orlando. So this was a big win. Indiana won. This was a big win, you know? Jay says definitely Burks, but Mitch coming back means someone else is left off of it too. Yeah, that's gonna be the one that I'm waiting to see. When Mitch comes back, is Tom Thibodeau not going to play Precious? That's gonna be the one where I'm going to be intrigued as to who Tom Thibodeau doesn't play. Because you gotta play Mitch. And you gotta play Mitch, but Precious has been playing so well, right? So when Mitch and Randle come back, I mean, you have to say Precious at that point. I guess it's going to be based on matchup. If we need scoring, it's going to be Bogdanovich. If we need defense, it's going to be Precious because Precious has shown us since we have acquired him, his defense is better than what I expected. His defense is crazy. Like is great. And Bogdanovic can score. So when we need scoring, it's going to be Bogdanovic. It's going to be mixing and matching, which is the great thing about having, so many options coming off the bench, which is why I love the trade initially when the Knicks traded for Burks and Bogdanovic. But now it's starting to, it's not starting to, I don't like it. Oh, big task. Big task says Burks will get. Keith says Sims progression next season will be equivalent to Deuce this season. I love that. Keith says we are in great shape, fellas. I love that. We've seen some great things out of Jericho Sims this season as well. Hasn't really shown up in the box score, but the aggression, his rebounding has improved this year, Jericho Sims. And he has stepped up when his name has been called. Has he been struggling at times? Yes. But like you said, sometimes it takes these young guys quite a bit of time to get in the rhythm of things. Took Deuce. Now look at Deuce. I mean, if you compare Deuce from now, his third season in the league, into his rookie season, night and day, right? 3-point shot improved. His defense has always been there. He's had spurts here and there, but now he's starting to put it all together. And now he's starting to get consistent minutes, which is why I think that's why the Knicks were so comfortable in trading quickly, because they saw Deuce in practice was probably getting after it. Not saying he was better than Quickly. I'm not saying that at all. But in practice, Deuce was probably showing the front office, Tom Thibodeau. He was probably showing everyone, like, look, I'm ready. Give me some time. Give me some minutes. And he has played awesome. Joel says Knicks are going to win the finals or go to the conference finals. Joel, what's going on? I love it, man. The vibes are back, man. The vibes are absolutely back in the Garden. You feel it in the atmosphere. You felt it in the crowd. You feel it tonight. You feel it in the live stream. Anunoby's back, looking like his normal self, playing defense, stripping guys, fast breaks. Don't forget, Anunoby also brings the pace up because, like S550 said in the chat, the Knicks are one of the slowest teams in the NBA pace-wise. And when Anunoby was on the court, don't forget, he was getting those strips and running those fast breaks with Brunson and Josh Hart, and he's a great finisher around the rim, OG Anuoby. And we saw some of that tonight. There was a play in the first half. Brunson got I think Anunoby got the steal or the strip. Brunson passed it behind the back, which was pretty cool. And Anunoby got the dunk. Man, I mean, that was awesome. That was awesome. So this was an absolutely incredible win, honestly. It felt like January again. Not gonna lie to you guys. Evan says Precious is coming off the bench and Burks is out. Yeah. I honestly think when Mitch comes back is gonna be interesting, but it's gonna be matchup based wise. But how can you not play Precious at this point? Right? How can you not play Precious at this point? But in the playoffs, rotations do shrink, right? But we'll worry about that when we get to the playoffs, because as we've seen this season and as we've seen throughout all major sports, injuries happen. And when Randall comes back, we don't know what Julius Randle we're going to get. So injuries happen all the time. So Precious, he has to play. I don't want to see when Mitch comes back and Randall comes back. It'll stink to see Precious at the end of the bench, but I personally think that it'll be matchup based wise, and I think Precious has earned his role because he's been playing absolutely incredible. CM, what's going on, man? Appreciate you in the chat, CM. Mitch couldn't jump. Mitch is running and jumping right now. So, and then Tom Thibodeau said that he is going through practice within the next week or so. So I think in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you can expect Mitchell Robinson on the New York Knicks court. Don't hold me to that, but I think in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you can expect Mitch back. And then hopefully Randall and Mitch can come back together. But now that we have OG Anuoby back, we can kind of like buy ourselves some time here, right? For Randall, because we want Randall to at least be 90%, right? At least be 80% of his normal self. Now with OG Anuoby back, we can sort of not buy Randall some time, but we could sort of like get through games, because with OG Anuoby and Randall both out, that was tough, and we saw it. That was tough. it was rough. It was tough. Defensively, it was rough. But now you insert OG Anuoby, and you see tonight, I mean, right off the bat, you see it. I mean, it's like he didn't even hurt his elbow out there. Dunking, stealing, defending. I mean, what a player he is, right? What a freaking player OG Anuoby is. But West Coast trip coming up. We got the West Coast trip coming up. At Portland. Now, you say Portland's a bad team. You say Portland's a bad team. But look, anytime you go on the West Coast trip and anytime you're away from the Garden, away from your home court, it's going to be tough. And then at Sacramento, at Golden State, at Denver, and then you come back home versus Brooklyn, versus Detroit, at Toronto. OG Anuoby going back to Toronto on March 27th. Should get a nice tribute video over there. But, yeah, I mean, this is why tonight's game, getting the tiebreaker over Philadelphia was so important. You win, get the tiebreaker, and you head on, you pack your bags, you take the night off, you travel tomorrow, get everyone's body right. OG Anuoby didn't play heavy minutes. Brunson didn't play heavy minutes. And then you go to Portland, and you should be able to take care of business in Portland. You should be able to take care of business in Portland, right? Sacramento, too. Sacramento hasn't been, playing up to par. But, like I said, this West Coast trip is tough. At Golden State, at Denver, need some revenge at Golden State. I would like that. And at Denver's tough. And then look, Brooklyn, Detroit, Toronto. Then it starts to get a little bit easy during this stretch. But this West Coast trip, last West Coast trip of the season. And then after that, schedule kind of lightens up. And then if you look at the standings right now, if the season ended today, the New York Knicks will be playing the Orlando Magic in the first round of the playoffs. 4-5 matchup. The Knicks will have home court advantage. And if the season ended today, it will be Knicks Magic first round, which would be pretty awesome. It'll either be the Magic, Cleveland could drop down, the Pacers, Philly, or Miami. In the next couple of weeks, those are going to be your opponents that the New York Knicks will be probably facing in the first round of the playoffs. It's exciting stuff. Joel says the whole 76ers were intimidated by OG Anuoby. I could see fear in their eyes. Different team besides Julius and Mitchell coming back soon. This Knicks team is looking healthy right now. You see the difference one man can make on a team. I mean, we know OG is so great defensively that it's like watching him play defense is honestly like a spiritual experience. Like his aggression on defense, the way he fights through the screens, his deflections. I think he's one of the league leaders in deflections. Don't hold me to that. I think so. But his deflections are high because he has what is his wingspan? Like something crazy his wingspan is. He's built like a tank. You can't back him down. I mean, you could try, but you can't do it. You could try. But he can guard 1 through 5. Preferably, I would like to see him guard 2 through 4 or 2 through 5. But he can do 1 through 5. But preferably, you would like to see him guard 2 through 4, and he can guard anybody. Is what I'm trying to say, and we've seen it. But what Precious showed you tonight is what we're gonna get throughout the season, and why the trade was so important, and why Knicks fans, including myself, were saying we can't wait till OG Anuoby comes back. Because one man, I'm not saying one man fixes everything, but he fixes at least 90% of our defensive problems that we had. 80%, 90% is strong. 75%, at least 75 to 80% of our defensive issues that we had. And he came back and didn't miss a step. I mean, he looked winded out there, but as expected, right? He hasn't played basketball in a month now. So he's still in great shape and on the bench laughing. It seems like it's just an awesome night at MSG, awesome night in Madison Square Garden, awesome night to be a Knicks fan, honestly. And it's good to see Anunoby come back and do everything that we saw him do in January. And hopefully this is the start of a new winning streak, because boy, I would like that. I would like that. S550 says it was so hard to watch the Detroit boys play. The Detroit boys? Detroit boys. I'm blanking here. Evan says it will be fun watching OG matchup against Golden State. It's honestly, Evan, it's fun watching. Oh, you're talking about the Detroit boys. You're talking about Burks and Bogdanovich. I just hit like a brain fart really quick. I'll get back to that comment. Evan says it'll be fun watching OG match up against Golden State. Honestly, Evan, it's fun watching OG Anunoby match up against anybody. I mean, Golden State, Denver, anybody, Philly. It's just fun watching OG Anunoby play the game of basketball because he does everything the right way on defense and on offense. And on offense, he's confident. He's confident. He's knocking down those threes, those corner threes we saw tonight. Confident in his shot, and which is what I was worried about with his elbow, but his shot was there tonight, and that gave me a sigh of relief because we didn't know what to expect with his shooting shoulder. I mean, his shooting arm, elbow, and tonight he shot those doubts down. He was awesome tonight. Cam, what's going on in the chat? And we back up. Salute to you as well. So good to see somebody coming back in the lineup. OG look good. Taking stress off the Nova boys and crew. We look good. Cam, I said it earlier, man. Taking the stress off of Brunson. We saw the efficient night tonight from Jalen Brunson. We saw the assist numbers from tonight from Jalen Brunson. Just that extra threat on the offensive end is going to be an issue for defenses when they guard the New York Knicks and when they try to guard Jalen Brunson. It's going to be an issue. And tonight, OG parked in one corner, Dante parked in the other corner, and Josh Hart grabbing it, securing every rebound. It was awesome, man. Cam, hope all is well in the chat, man. S550 says, yeah, I mean, back to the Burks and Bogdanovich. Look, man, Bogdanovich, no points tonight, and Burks, at this point, I mean, they're still. Look, we just gotta hope for the best at this point. As long as we're winning, right? I mean, we won tonight. Burks has been bad, man. He's been garbage, to say the least. He's been garbage. I wanted to see Shake Milton in here a little bit. I wanted to see more from Shake Milton, but saw him in there at the end for like 2 minutes. But I wanted to see Alec Burks really come in here and give us that scoring punch off the bench, and he has not done that. And Bogdanovich has shown us this season, the Philly game, the Houston game, he's still going to give you buckets. He's still going to give you points when you need points. Bogdanovich is still going to give you points. So when it comes to Bogdanovich and Burks, S550, just got to hope for the best. CM says, did we break the Urigi curse, or will OG... Oh, Masai Ujiri. Yeah. No, OG's going to be a Knick. OG's going to be a Knick. There's no way the Knicks traded for OG without getting some type of okay or like hint, nod that I'm going to resign with you guys. So OG Anunoby is going to be a Knick for the foreseeable future. That is for sure. S550 says, I know Burks is going to be out of the playoff rotation, but I really want to see more from Bojan. I want to see more from Bojan too. It's at this point, Burks, I'm like you. He's not even in my thoughts anymore. I just have it in my brain that he's not going to be in the rotation when everyone's healthy. But break glass in case of emergency. Can he knock down a three when need be? Yeah. Has he? No. But Bogdanovich, yeah, I want to see more out of him. And defensively, Bogdanovich is bad as well, as alongside as Alec Burke. But I feel like I've been saying this since we acquired them, so I hope it comes true. I feel like Bogdanovich is going to hit a few big shots for us in like a playoff series. And that's when the Knicks fans are not going to care about games like tonight when he scored 0 points, even though we still won. But I feel like during the playoffs, Bogdanovich is going to step up in a big spot in a playoff series when we need offense. Let's say the third quarter comes around and we need a bucket. You're going to see Bogdanovich do that, hopefully. And then we can just... And then that's what's going to make the trade worth it. Because the Knicks, honestly, the Knicks traded those guys for those guys thinking that if their thought process was that they're going to hopefully keep the ship afloat until OG Anunoby and Randall comes back, it has failed. But if their thought process was when Anunoby's back and when Randall's back, space the floor with them at times and use them situationally, between, different playoff matchups and whatnot. We just have to wait and see. Cam says, oh my God, Josh Hart with the 20 point, 19 rebound, fourth triple-double for Josh Hart this season, right? Fourth or fifth. Yeah, man, we've been talking about it. A lot of people have been saying that the contract he signed was an overpay. He was struggling. He was struggling in the beginning part of the season. He was bad. He wasn't struggling. He was bad. His three-point shot was terrible. He was hitting bricks. He wasn't even confident in his shot. At times, he's still hesitant, still pump faking a little bit, which we want to see the aggressive Josh Hart. But yeah, Cam, he's grabbing rebounds over guys that are 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", and he's pushing the pace, which I absolutely love. And, for the better part of a month and a half now, Josh Hart has been absolutely incredible for his team. Guys, man, this was fun. The vibes are back in MSG. I want you guys to text your friends that were talking all that crap, because I've had some friends in my messages during this losing streak that were saying, oh, what happened to the Knicks? What happened to the Knicks? And, I want everyone to know that we're still right there, man. We're still coming. We're still, a contending team. We're still a contending team at the end of the day. We're missing so many bodies into Anunoby tonight, and we saw firsthand how it was in January. We saw it, and tonight didn't lose a beat. So everyone that was like sort of throwing jabs at the Knicks, saying this and that, look, do we still have work that needs to be done? Yes. I'm not on here saying, waving my pom-pom, saying we're going to win the championship. That's not what I'm doing. All I'm saying is that one man, OG Anuoby, is that much of a difference maker. And we saw it tonight firsthand, and hopefully we can build off of it. Alec Burks, Bogdanovich, please do something on the court. Burks especially. And Brunson, DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, everyone has been doing their thing. Good Mitchell Robinson news. Julius Randle still kind of questionable in these next couple of weeks. We shall see. If I get an update, obviously I'll be on here telling you guys the update. But it was a great win for the New York Knicks. 106-79, first time since 2000 and 2001 since the Knicks have held their opponents under 80 points in 3 straight games. Appreciate every single one of you guys in here, man. This was fun. It's great coming back on here after a Knicks victory, blowing the opponent out with OG Anuoby on the court. Man, oh man, it's good to have you back, OG Anuoby. It is good to have you back. Hit the smash button, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel like Cam said in the chat. I'll be on here, as always, doing these post games. I catch you guys in the next post game. Appreciate every single one of you rocking with me, supporting and whatnot. As always, it is Let's Go Knicks. I'll catch you guys next time.